My name is Ajay. I'm 28 years old and I'm a Chennaiite. I was sexually abused when I was 4 by my aunt, and it just didn't stop there. Then there was my uncle, then there was my elder cousin, then there was a teacher in school. And I grew up in a very abusive household where all people did was hit me because I was this chubby kid who took everything and never said a thing. I was just everyone's punching bag. Apart from all that abuse, after I grew up and I went to college, I did my hotel management and I was again discouraged, and that was the first time I actually experienced language and racial discrimination, not even color to be precise. I specialized in front office and people said that I cannot take up that because my complexion is too dark, I'm too dusky, and because of my language, because I'm Tamil and I don't speak that good Hindi. So, everywhere I turned, I was being ostracized, I was being pushed away, not just for my sexuality, just because I'm chubby, just because I'm dark, just because I'm Tamil, just because everything, even community, and I'm agnostic, I don't belong to any religion, so even religiously. So everywhere I've been pushed and pushed and pushed. And I exactly have no idea what to say, because I think I'm done. I've said enough to myself, I've said enough to a lot of people, and any amount of talk, any amount of conversation or dialogue is not going to make my situation any better. That's how I feel at the moment. I mean, I don't live in a fucking movie, to be honest. I mean, there isn't a rainbow at the end. There isn't some, something happy going to happen in the end. I'm not going to, win a fortune. I'm not going to end up with a kick-ass job, or I'm not going to end up meeting Mr. Right at a, I don't know, a Metallica concert or some stupid Indian band that cannot sing a note. I don't know. I really don't know. I have no fucking idea how it's going to be. But all I know is that I'm scared. I'm fucking scared. I'm dead scared. I'm scared for me. I'm scared for my brother. I'm scared for my mother. I'm scared for my father, because the situations, the things that happened to me hasn't given me the opportunity to be optimistic at all. Not even once. I was raped when I was 13 by 8 men. I still carry the scar physically. You can just see it on my right eyebrow. They smashed my face in the urinal and they raped me one after the other. I have no idea why they did that to me. I still can't think of it. I mean, even when I think of it, I just can't understand why they would do that to me. And it's not the first time, and ever since that incident, I constantly feared and I hope that I don't get raped at all, because it's painful. It's not just the physical trauma. It's what emotionally a person goes through. I haven't slept properly in years, and ever since something that happened recently, which a handful of you know about it, have read about it, I haven't slept in months. Every time I sleep, I get up screaming with all the pseudo pain, phantom pain. Every day, all I wish and I hope is that nobody touches me inappropriately. Nobody thinks I'm easy. Just because I look different, just because I have a face that does not resemble an actual guy, just because I do not have enough facial hair, I just don't want people to take advantage of me. Think that I want it. I really don't understand why people would assume that they can take absolute liberty over another individual whom they have no idea. Or even your own family members or your extended family, why would they take advantage of that? I have no fucking idea. And it's something that I'm still figuring out. Every day, my life, normally what I see through is fear. I have to be strong at the most hardest of times. Every day, every single day, every single minute, every second. And it's not easy being middle class, where you have to support your family financially. It's not easy to find a job being this way. It's very hard. Waiting and hoping for your manager to hit on you. Waiting and hoping in fear that nobody follows you when you go to the restroom. Waiting and hoping nobody calls your names and finds you out who you are and then costs your job. Because for the next month you'll be out of money and you'll be unable to handle the expenses, food, medical expenses. rent. You won't be able to make rent. You won't be able to pay your debts and all of that stuff. So it's quite hard. It's extremely hard. I have moved 6 schools. 6 schools. Just because for being bullied, just because I was not a bright student, and just because some teacher would grab me and touch me inappropriate, which I had no idea how to explain to anyone. I thought it was my fault because it's me who asked for it. I never realized at that age that it was their fault or it was them doing it to me, and it wasn't something that I asked for myself. And so, living in that fear, carrying on my life, that awful day happened. That awful day in June 2014, I'm sorry. I'm in such a haze. I just don't, for the past 2 months, I have no idea what's happening with me. I have no idea what I'm doing to myself. I have no idea what I'm eating, what I'm talking, what I'm saying, what I'm seeing, who I'm seeing, what I'm telling them. It's a complete haze. I don't know. All I see is those faces, those arms, those things they said to me, those things they did to me. It just keeps haunting me. So June 2014, I was laughed at an interview. I've been having trouble sustaining work because I'm learning disabled. I have learning disabilities. I'm dyslexic, I'm dyspraxic, I'm dysgraphic, and I'm dyscalculic, and I have ADHD. So basically my brain doesn't function just like everyone else. Conventionally it doesn't work. Unconventionally, yes, more on the creative side. So it was quite hard for me to sustain work and manage stuff. And I was constantly fired either for one, that reason, or two, because my manager groped me, or he wanted to sleep with me, or I was stalked by someone at work, and I had to leave. So these were the only repeated instances for me to leave work. And this last interview, I had some hope because I managed to clear all the rounds. And finally I sit with the manager. All she had to do was laugh at me. And then the HR. She convinced me that I'll never get another job as long as I wanted to work. She was quite confident about it. I, as usual, crestfallen, with a broken spirit, had to leave home. On my way back, I took a train, I got down, and I was walking to my house, and 20 minutes away from there were a bunch of cops. There were male and female cops over there, and they were all wearing shirts, and it's a phenomenon I've seen all across Chennai. Cops tend to wear shirts, colored shirt over their uniform, just to hide their badges so that they can bribe people, get money from them. I've seen that happening near Pallavaram, I've seen that happening near T Nagar, I've seen that happening in Tirsulam airport. Cops wear shirts over their uniform, late at night, wait there, catch guys, take money. And some of them are brave enough, they just stay there and just get the money. I don't know, I've known from few people, from few of my acquaintances, that they change precincts. They move from one precinct to another precinct just so they don't get trapped, just so their superiors don't catch them. So these are few things that I have known, and I've always lived in fear that someday something bad is going to happen, and I always expected something bad to happen every day I left my home, and before I returned back home, I always expected someone's going to grope me, someone's going to hurt me, someone's going to beat me up, someone's going to rape me. Those are the only thoughts I had for the past 15 years. And that day I had the same fear, but I assumed something. I was stupid. I assumed that you've been having the same fear for the past 15 years, it's not going to make anything different. I mean, like, every time you fear something, you assume something, and it never happens. So maybe this assumption would also fail, and nothing would happen. You just cross the cops, they wouldn't notice you. And that blessed day, I was wearing a very long kurta. Simple, no designs, no embroidery, no glittery, obviously gay kurta, a very dark brown kurta. And, I wore leggings. I mean, like, it looked like pajamas. I'm like, nobody even gives a fuck. Why people should even give a fuck anyway? It looks like it's yoga pants basically. Everybody wears them to gym. Everybody uses to work out. I'm like, it's spandex. Anybody can wear it, and it's not that obvious when you wear it as a kurta. Anyway, I'm not going to reason for that. I'm like, anybody should be basically free to wear anything they want. But yeah, they noticed it. They immediately noticed it because they assumed that leggings were meant only for women and men are not allowed to wear. So I was caught, cornered. They brought me over and they molested me. Obviously, everything's there in the articles, and if you really want me, go and describe what they did to me. They touched me, they hit me, they punched me, made me feel small, made me feel miserable, made my 28 years of my life such a waste, a nuisance, made me feel really small, made me feel that I never existed, like how I felt for the past 15 years. Yes, and that day I feared that I was going to get raped again. I was so scared. I thought they were going to just take me at the back of the jeep and rape me, or they're going to take me someplace and beat me to pulp and do things to me that I only had nightmares, and I feared it's going to happen. I feared and I hoped that it would happen, but it didn't. They just molested me. They just broke my spirit. I didn't realize that I was lucky enough for that month. I was extremely hurt. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. I felt so ashamed. I had no one to run to. So what I thought was, I just want to kill myself. There was a lake beside me and I tried to drown myself. Sounds so Victorian. And yeah, there were a few cremators by a graveyard which is close by to the lake, and they picked me up and they brought me to the same police who harassed me. And they looking at me all wet, crying, miserable, fucked up. They had a little bit of fear in them that I was trying to kill myself. They thought it would fuck up something, I don't know. They just dragged me, they asked me where I stayed and dropped me home. By the time my face had swollen up, I had a black eye, my lip was split and I was bleeding, and my parents were questioning. They were questioning what happened to me, why you went for an interview when you came quite late, and why is your face all bruised up, battered, and I had nothing to tell them except that I had an accident, and the police told my parents that I was trying to kill myself. So my parents assumed that I was trying to kill myself because I'm unemployed and I don't have a job and I'm being rejected all over. The catch with my family is that they don't understand. They're extremely traditional, they're Christian, and they will never understand what it is to be me. For 28 years, I never told them that I was sexually abused. I never told them how much it hurt when they hit me. I never told them the stuff that went on in school. I never told them anything. I could never tell them anything because ever since my younger brother was born, he was their world. So, and obviously I was a chubby, dark kid that everybody kind of looked down upon, dumb. So yeah, who the fuck should I go and tell to? I'm like, I can't even afford a shrink. A good shrink who is LGBT sensitive is expensive. He charges $3 to $4 grand a session, and I don't make that kind of money to afford a shrink either. All I could think of is just kill myself. I thought, okay, fine, I do this, everything ends. I'm like, not, even if things go out of hand, my parents won't be at shame. I'm like, they can always dismiss it out of saying that, you know, they already call me a retard because in Chennai, if someone is learning disabled, they're called retards. So, you know, that's what my certificate says, that I'm mentally retarded. So, and they can easily dismiss it offhand. You know, I thought all of that. I quickly had a thought process. I thought, okay, fine, I kill myself, I die. My parents will have very good excuse. Unemployed or good, he's a retard. He was retarded. That's why he killed himself, you know. I assumed all of that. That's why I thought, okay, fine, I can kill myself now. But no, it didn't work. I have to go through more shit after that too. Yeah, I have to go through a hell lot of shit. After that, I didn't sleep at all. I didn't sleep a wink. Every night I got up waking up. Every night I would try to fall asleep, and finally my eyes would go tired and I'll be sleeping, and then the feeling would creep. And then I would see things, those men, what they did to me, and the pain would start surging up my body and I'll wake up screaming. Every time it's brutal. It gets brutal every time. Bloody brutal. I didn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. And the police guys kept looking for me. They kept coming back, looking for me, asking for me. They came twice, and my dad did not tell them that I was here. And one fateful month on July 2014, my dad fell sick, and I had to rush him to the hospital, and he wasn't there to protect me for a while. I mean, at least protect me from the police for the time being. When I was all alone home with my brother, the cops and 2 henchmen came in. And these henchmen belong to the ruling party, the current chief minister's ruling party, because I know that because they had huge rings on their finger with the chief minister's picture with diamond studs around it, and they were quite confident. They said that I need to come with them. I'm not supposed to pick up the phone. I'm not supposed to call anyone. I'm not supposed to warn anyone. I'm just going to come with them. If I refuse to do that, they will just gut my brother there, just chop him off, butcher him there in front of me. What am I supposed to do? What can I do? I can't trigger anyone, be selfish and let my brother pay the price. I'm like, he will be first and then me. I'm like, how far can I run? What can I do? All I could do was save my brother at that moment. So I left with them. They took me, drugged me. Yeah, and then they raped me. The worst of my fears happened. In spite of being drugged, in spite of, them undressing me, and they were taking pictures of me, and then they were recording the entire shit, I was being 13 all over again. I just realized I was being raped again, and I could do nothing about it. It was one of the most painful things that happened to me. I don't know, I can't compare. A lot of things happened to me, but this kind of hit the jackpot, I guess. 5 men, and they were quite smart, and I was trying to be smart as well. I told them I have HIV, I have STI, just please don't rape me, don't, just sexually assault me, don't do anything to me, please just let me go. But no, they were smart enough, they used condoms. They drugged me, my body relaxed. Mentally I was fighting it, but my body was not fighting it. It relaxed, it collapsed, and yeah, it was easy for them to rape me. I was conscious, half defeated, half completely dead. There wasn't a thing I could do about it, because all I could do is just let them do things to me, because if I try to do anything, my family will pay the price, and so would I. And right now, everything has fallen in place for them. I'm like, they've recorded it, and I don't know from which angle they took pictures of me, and they could always use it to incarcerate me if I went against them. I could do nothing. They dropped me home. I couldn't even tell my parents what happened to me. I couldn't tell anyone. I didn't even have time to cry about it. I have to immediately shower, pack up, go and take care of my dad at the hospital. One of the worst days where I had to be strong, when I just didn't want to be strong. And I desperately needed someone near me. And I desperately needed a friend, a parent, just a shoulder to cry on. Nothing. Because even my best friends, 2 of my best friends, one's in New York, one's in Germany, and I couldn't reach them either. No one. I couldn't cry, because I know if I cried, I would attract a lot of attention. I'm like, I have to explain to a lot of people, and if I cry, my mother will end up crying, because I have to be strong for everyone, for my brother, for my mother, for everyone else, because my dad is serious in the hospital. So it was really hard for me, extremely hard for me to be strong, and yeah, I had no other choice but to be strong. But I'm not that strong. I couldn't be that strong. But I try. I try every single day to be strong. It's been months I left or met anyone. I haven't met anyone, I haven't seen anyone. I've completely shut myself away because I was so scared. In spite of doing all that, people contacted me. Somehow they reached to me. They reached, and all they had to say was that I deserved it, that I asked for it. That none of this would have happened if if I complained the first time, or if I changed the way I dress, or if I was closeted. None of this would have happened. None of this would have happened if I would just kept my mouth shut, if I've just lost weight, or if I've lightened my complexion. These are things that I really don't want to hear. I don't deserve to hear things like that, but that's what I ended up hearing. I lost friends. A lot of them left me. They were too ashamed and embarrassed to tell anything to me, and all they could do is stop calling me. Even when I tried to talk to them, I tried to reach them, they disconnected my call. They blocked my number. I wouldn't even call them friends. They were extended acquaintances and acquaintances. And I was absolutely alone. And then I got a call from this activist from Chennai. He said that 377 is a cognizable offense, and since they have taken pictures of me, recorded it, they could use it against me and incarcerate me for life, as the Indian Penal Code says that 377, if you are being proved, if they have proof that you had sex with another man, they could put you in jail for good. And the men did warn me. They said that they would use it against me. Those pictures, those recording, they would use it against me, and they said if I don't agree to whatever their demands were, if I do not agree to them, they would just submit it, file a case, put me in jail, and I will end up being a prison bitch. People rape me every single day, every single night, every minute, and for the rest of my life. I'm like, is that what I deserve? Is that what anyone deserves for being gay? Being threatened and thrown in jail and being exposed there at the most painful and hell of a place, and being raped every single day. Can you imagine that? I can't imagine that. Being raped twice was not easy for me. Being raped every day is not going to be easy for me either. And I was not ready to go through that again. And all I had to do was just have sex with them. Kind of sounds easy, right? I'm like, for a gay man, it should be easy, right? All I have to do is just go after men, because that's what I do. That's what all of us do. We all crave for dicks. We all crave any dick we see, we just want it. We want it inside us, right? That's what everyone assumes. That's what someone said to me. It should be easy, just have sex, they'll just leave you alone. That's what you guys do anyway, so why be such a bitch about it? Why be such a hard ass about it? Just have sex and be with it. So it's that easy to just throw myself at someone? So this activist said that, since I've recorded, since it's a cognizable offense, and that I would be in deep shit because of that, they wanted to legally protect me. I assumed there would be a legal counsel. I thought there would be a lawyer who would legally counsel me, and I went there, and all I found was just this bunch of activists who, as soon as I went there, hounded on me. They kept saying that, why you didn't complain to the police? Why didn't you file for FIR? Why didn't you go, make a huge scene out of it? You need to do that. You have done that all this while. I mean, you've worked with NGOs, you've worked with activists, you know how this shit works. I mean, like, if you don't do it, nobody else can do it. And I had one question for them. If my family is butchered, will you guys bring them back? Can you bring them back from the dead? Can you fucking resurrect them? They had no response. And all they could say was that if you don't want to get raped in the future, you have to file a complaint. I mean, like, they were being extremely insensitive, and few of them were my friends. I'm like, I assumed them as my friends. I thought they were my friends. And this one activist said that it's creating a very bad scene for the rest of the activists in Chennai. He said that a lot of people are contacting us. We have been hounded by calls, phone calls, and people are asking us, what's going on? Why haven't you done anything ever since the first instance? And second time he's raped already, and what are you guys doing about it? And when they asked me that, they said that I didn't have a response to them, and they said that because of me they're having a bad name. Because of me, because since I am not pressing charges, it's creating a bad name for the Chennai activist. And I could not agree with that. I mean, all I could think of that was the system is flawed, and I don't trust the system. Nobody trusts the system. How can these people, activists, be insensitive about this? How can they not understand? How can they not see the reason why I would not want to press charges? Because it would backfire. It would hurt my family, and they just don't get it. They just don't understand. And that's when it clicked. I was just being a case. I was just being a fucking file, a case file. They want to do this because they would get glory through me. They would get fame through me. They'll file a case, help me with the process, speak to the media, sensationalize it, get a name for their organization or for themselves, or file an FIR, make a case out of it, submit it to some European funding agency or American funding agency, saying that there are human rights issues, and this is one example. And I'll be a good example, yes. And it will be even more better for them if my family is butchered, saying that because of 377, this boy was raped and he was hurt, and when he went ahead and filed a complaint, his family was butchered. Isn't that a good story to tell the European funding agency? You submit that in Geneva, you get an amazing, you get an amazing amount, won't you? I mean, that sounds fair to me. I mean, it's a cakewalk, right? All they have to do is convince me to file a complaint, and everything falls in place. I mean, they get the money, and what do I get? Severed heads of my family, and get raped again, beaten again, thrown in jail after they're bored with me, book me under 377, and me being raped and tortured for life as long as I live. Is that the life I want? Is that the life that any gay man wants? Or any LGBT person for that matter wants? All I could think of was two options to save myself and my family. One is to kill myself, and another was to just disappear. I tried the first one. I've tried that ever since I was 4. I tried a lot of things to do to just end all of this pain, but it never seemed to work. It's like life telling me that I have to sustain it for longer, or at least in memories. So the next best option I could think of is to disappear. That way, if I'm not there, they can't trap my family. They can never trap my family. And I have to leave my family, leave everything that's familiar to me, and go away someplace strange, or I don't know, start new, be happy. I think happiness is a luxury that I cannot afford anymore. I cannot. The only thing I have left is to disappear, drag on as long as I could, and die. That's all I have. That's all I have left to do. That's all I have left to say. That's all my life is to me now. Nothing but pain.